Welcome back to the Padilla Family Homestead. Today we are talking about one of my favorite things. I have become super passionate about this over the last few years, and that is balsamic vinegar. I had heard about using balsamic vinegar for years, and I did it sometimes, but not a ton. Today we're going to kind of talk about why I jumped into this realm, kind of what the difference it's made in our lives, and how we use it. So let's dive in. So, why do we use balsamic vinegar? What is so amazing about this stuff that I'm making an entire video about it? Well, let me tell you. When we got into this, we kind of tried it for fun. We found it at a local nursery here. If you're in the area where I am, it's High Hand Nursery in Loomis, and they have an olive oil company there that has some balsamic vinegars as well, and they have light balsamics and dark balsamics. And when I found this company, we tried a few flavors. And at the time, my husband had just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And we were looking for unique ways to add flavor to food without spiking sugar. And this was a fun thing that we just experimented. He ended up loving it. And what we started to notice was every single meal that he had balsamic vinegar in, his sugars were more balanced afterwards. And it took us a little bit to kind of have that click, right? And once we started tracking it, it really made a difference. He felt better after the meals. Everything kind of clicked. So the research that I've done now on why this happened is there's actually studies, and I have a little cheat sheet here. There are actual studies that show that if you take balsamic vinegar before eating, it can help manage your blood sugar. Other studies show that people with insulin resistance experienced a blood sugar plateau for up to 5 hours after eating their meal if their meal included balsamic vinegar. And then also it's lower on the glycemic index. So if you look at most of them, it's going to show how much sugar is in them, but it's lower on that glycemic index, and it's full of flavor. So now we've talked about kind of why we love it, because this actually made a huge difference for us. I think there was lots of lifestyle changes that we made, but this was one of the key things with cooking that made him be able to get the flavor that he craved and feel satisfied without spiking those sugars. And so we're going to talk about kind of how we replace that. He's off of his insulin now. Within a year of being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, he's now off of his insulin. And that's a huge part of due to the diet changes that we made. And so balsamic vinegar is going to stay an active part in our diet. We use it all the time. As we go right here, in some fun photos of some of the recipes that I have created and how I use balsamic vinegar in our kitchen, in our daily lives, that make an impact, and kind of some of our favorite flavors. So that was another thing that I had no clue about. I just thought dark balsamic vinegar was dark balsamic vinegar. Oh, let me tell you, it is not. There are amazing flavors that are used for all different kinds of things. So I have a couple here. I have fig. Fig actually is one of my favorites. I use fig on, I put this on top of my hamburger patties instead of barbecue sauce. I use this on it. I have used fig on my salad. I sprinkle this on some of my roasted vegetables, and it has fun flavor in it. It's kind of fruity, but still kind of savory. It's really good. Another one, Oh, I didn't grab it. So another one that's similar to that is plum. Plum is actually one of my favorites for actually on salad. I just used it on top of my tomatoes and not cilantro, tomatoes, basil, and mozzarella. Drizzle some of the balsamic, the plum balsamic on top of that. Oh, it's so good. So good. But plum is great in adding it to stir fries, adding it on top of vegetables. It's got a great flavor. If you can find a way to add it with some sweet stuff, it would be really good too. There's a hickory. Hickory is the barbecue sauce replacer. And one of the great things is balsamic is great for my husband for the low sugar, but it's also lower sodium. And so it helps me be able to have a burst of flavor without adding a ton more salt. So it's been a great thing all around. So that hickory helped at first. We just marinated our meats in it. I've also marinated the meat in the fig and in the plum, like steak, and it's delicious. We're actually going to do that for my birthday. It is so good. So the hickory, though, if you are looking for something, a flavor profile that you're more used to, that you need to replace a particular item, that would be great for replacing barbecue sauce. Like it is so good. The other one that we have that actually was a game changer as well. So I just recently did a video about doing stir fry. And stir fry, I either use coconut aminos or I use this balsamic. And I happen to have been out of this balsamic when I made that video. And I went and grabbed some, brand new. It is garlic cilantro dark balsamic. This thing is so good. Any of those savory dishes, this is amazing on, but this is my go-to for stir fry. And any type of those Asian style dishes. Now, okay, so the other thing they have, I almost switched gears here. The other thing they have are the light white balsamics. And these are good. My husband loves them. There's a few that I really, really love for on topping my salad. Sometimes I don't want the dark, and sometimes I want something lighter. And they have like an apricot white balsamic. This one's orange, mango, and passion fruit. They have some very fresh. I think they had a white huckleberry one that was super good. And these are super, like, you taste the fruit. They're not as I feel like they're a little bit more acidic, but I might be wrong. I feel like they're more acidic, but they still have that lighter burst of fruity flavor, and they're really, really good. I have taken the white balsamic and I've actually used that on my pancakes instead of syrup. Now, a little bit goes a very long way. So if you're looking for just a little bit of flavor burst, that would be good. But try a little bit first if you're going to go down that road. My husband did not like it on the pancakes. I did not mind it on the pancakes. So that's going to be a preference. And for pancakes, they even have a dark bittersweet, it's like bittersweet orange and chocolate flavored dark balsamic. So good. So we haven't experimented in all the ways with that, but it tastes really good. So can you tell I love this? Can you tell I'm super excited? Okay, so let me show you some of the things that we have done. I've already, I'm sure, popped up some of the pictures in here because I'm adding them after I'm recording this. But let me walk through some of our favorite ways. So salad is the basic way. I literally just drizzle a little bit over the salad, and I sometimes spritz a little bit of avocado oil. I don't do anything else to make some sort of special salad dressing. I find that by the time I've made it and go through it, sometimes I want to use it somewhere else, and everybody kind of wants a different flavor. So I just stopped making salad dressing, and we just drizzle a little bit of the balsamic on, and then we spritz a little bit of the avocado oil. I sprinkle with pepper, and boom, you're done for the top of your salad. It is so good. Okay, so another thing I did, I already mentioned, was the hamburgers. I just drizzle on top of the hamburger. I do it on top of my chicken. Any of my meats, that is my replacement sauce. Anywhere that you would almost use barbecue sauce, I can pretty much use balsamic now. I don't think I've had barbecue sauce in, I want to say like 8 or 9 months. It's been a while because I just love the balsamic so much. It wasn't a hard give up for me. Now we still have barbecue sauce in the house because my daughter actually is not a huge fan of balsamic. She'll eat it sometimes. It's one of the best vinegars, but she doesn't like vinegar overall. So, we have other condiments in the house and then just slowly add these in. She loves it in the stir fry though. Okay, so another thing, so we did salads, hamburgers. I have added it, drizzled it on pasta. I have taken it and added it, like I said, to the tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil. Anything over that tomato, super good. I tried a little bit over watermelon. I've heard about that before. It was okay. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, but it was okay. There's a Bordeaux cherry balsamic, and that balsamic is probably my absolute favorite to bake the carrots. Roast the carrots in that balsamic and then drizzle a little bit over afterwards. So when I'm roasting, I do avocado oil, I do a little bit of the balsamic, let it cook in it, and then right about when it's almost done, I just glaze it again with a little bit more balsamic, let it cook for another 5 minutes, toss it around in it, and serve it. And that cherry flavored one with the roasted carrots is almost like a dessert. It's addicting and it's so good for you. So that was a game changer. It was one of the first things that my husband was like, hold on, this is good for me and it tastes like candy. So that way was really good. Artichokes. If you take your artichoke and you take the artichoke and I cut off the top of it and I peel the stem and chop the bottom off of the artichoke as well, just the end where you see that it's older. And then I cut the whole artichoke in half. Now, the easiest way I have found this is to go through the stem, tip your artichoke upside down, go through your stem, and that'll make it easier to go through the body of the artichoke, okay? And then once you have it open, you're going to scoop the little fuzzies. There's not really hairs, but they look like hairs. They're like, it's just the part of the flower when it opens up. So you need to scoop that out. And then you're going to coat the whole thing. You should probably rub a little bit of lemon juice on it. I don't always, because it does turn brown really fast. So the way to stop that is add a little bit of lemon juice. But if you don't care if it turns brown, then just don't do the lemon juice. So as soon as you cut it open, you want to do the lemon juice, scoop it out, add a little bit more lemon juice into that center portion. And then you're going to take a little bit of avocado oil and rub it on the outside. I pour it on the inside of it, rub it on the stem, make sure everything's covered. And I place it on the cookie sheet. I have tried it face down and I've tried it, cut side down and cut side up. I prefer it cut side up. And I take the balsamic and I drizzle it over the top of the artichoke, all over that cut open portion and all the leaves, okay? So what's going to happen is the leaves portion is like a little bowl now. And you're going to take that and it's going to hold some of that oil and some of that balsamic. And you'll put this on a pan, preferably with parchment paper, because roasted balsamic is a pain in the butt to clean sometimes. And you'll roast that. I roast it at 400, and it's whenever, depending on the size of your artichoke. Our artichokes are always different sizes, so I just wait till it's fork tender. And man, that thing is so good. You don't have to dip it in anything. My mom is a huge fan of the mayonnaise and artichoke. That's how I was raised. And we had the artichoke with the balsamic while she was here, and she was like, "Ooh, that's really good." It's like she does not miss the mayonnaise when it comes to that. It's a different style. It kind of elevates it, kind of makes it cool. So I have done the fig on that, and I have done the plum on that. I'm sure many other flavors would be great with it. Once you start playing around with flavors, it would be good. Just do a dark balsamic. I'm sure a regular dark balsamic wouldn't be bad by itself on it. So roasted artichoke is amazing with it as well. Another way I've used it, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find a picture or not of this, but another way I have used it is in my rice. So I've talked about how I use it to replace just about every condiment. I can't have soy sauce or teriyaki sauce really right now. And so if I have rice, it's either in a soup or it has some sort of balsamic on it, one of the flavors. And that dark, the garlic cilantro dark balsamic is super good on rice, and it just a little bit goes a long way. I have done it also on top of my oatmeal. I know that's weird, but we experimented. This is where my husband really didn't like it. I tried the chocolate one on it. I I can't remember all the things I did with it to kind of counteract it. It still needed syrup to replace the acidic. It was too acidic in the oatmeal. Um, so I don't know. That wasn't my favorite. I'm sure you could try to find a way to find it, but I would not suggest doing it that route. Um, but yeah, you can have it with bread, the balsamic and oil, and dipping your bread in. So good. And again, I think when you're looking at the things these are pairing with, so balsamic with carrots, carrots are higher in sugar. Well, your balsamic goes really well with that to help your body not spike your sugar levels when you eat it. And then let's say bread, you do the oil and the balsamic vinegar, and then the bread will spike your sugar, but your balsamic is going to help your body not spike it. And so it's just amazing how it all works. So we are always experimenting, always trying something new. Oh, fish. It's great with fish. We did some lemon olive oil, some lemon slices on it. We did a balsamic on it. I have done without the lemon. I've also done it with like the raspberry balsamic, and I think I might have done a plum balsamic on it. It was super good. We have tried the hickory on the fish. It was super good. So you just put it in a foil pouch and you bake it like that. It's delicious. We marinate all of our steaks. That was the other thing. We marinate all of our steaks in the balsamic. So that's what I want for my birthday dinner coming up. So we just bought a steak and we're going to pre-season it, pop it in the freezer. And then when we take it out of the freezer in the bag, we're going to add the balsamic to it. That'll be the last thing that it needs. So we'll add the balsamic to it and let it sit in the fridge while it defrosts, and it'll go for 24 hours. Then we'll bring it out of the fridge, let it come to room temperature, and then we will cook it. My husband does amazing with the steak, but that balsamic tenderizes the meat so much. The vinegar, I think, is the way he described it to me, is it almost like starts to cook it, kind of like lemon can kind of cook fish, the acid in it. And so it's the same concept, but with balsamic and steak. But you're still cooking it to the point that you need to cook it on the stove. But it adds that beautiful tenderness, great flavor. It is so good. So we will be doing that. We have done cherry on the steak. We have done fig. We have done plum. We have done the garlic cilantro. I want to say we did a white one time on it, and it's just amazing. And then afterwards, if I want a little bit more of something to dip it in, I will dip it in one of the balsamics. It is super good. So I hope that this inspires you a little bit and gives you some creative ideas. If I find any other recipes, I will have put them up in the pictures here. Any other pictures of the food that I've done with balsamic. I was trying to go through, and I do so much with it that I'm trying to remember all the things that I do. So I hope that you look for fun flavors of balsamic. I would suggest looking for olive oil companies that are near you and see what balsamics they have. I think Squisitos online, I believe they have dark balsamics and so forth. I can link them below. That's where I get all my truffle salt from. Because I have a local place to get the dark balsamic vinegar from, I don't order it from Squisitos just because there's no reason for me to pay shipping if I have it right here. But so Squisitos has it, and I believe the nursery where I buy this from might have a website, so I'll look for that. But I get out there and try some of these places that may have olive oil tasting companies near you, tasting rooms, and see if they have balsamic vinegar as well. And experiment and replace some things in your kitchen. See what it does for you. I know this helped my husband with a type 2 diabetes. I'm not going to say it's a cure for you, but I know it helped him a lot, so I wanted to share that portion of it. And these are studies that it works with some people. Obviously, type 1 is a totally different world, and as always, consult your physician. But this is something that I think it's just delicious even without all the health benefits. So I would try to check it out. Let me know some of your favorite ways to use balsamic. I would love to know any of your fun recipes so we can try them out and do some new things in the kitchen with it. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next video on Wednesday. Talk to you soon and have a great rest of your day.